Talanta muhimu bana.
Talanta. Welcome back to the show. This is Mentali News, and today I have hosted my sister down here, Krisspy. How you doing? How you doing? It's nice to see you. Like, you traveled all the way to Germany and back. You know, do you have any Hitler equipment in the building? How has it been though?
The German trip was good because it was based on poetry and spoken word. My pieces, I appreciate that they recognized me and invited me to perform in Germany.
You know, for those people who don't know how this thing started, for those people who just heard Krisspy went to Berlin and to perform poetry, tell them where you started, because they need to know that people start from the ground up. How did it start? How did you know that you know poetry? You know, you're never born spitting poetry. So how did you come to know that you have the capability of spitting poetry?
I was inspired by Sacramento.
Sacramento.
He's one of
the monk, Sabachi.
Yeah, he's one of the poets here. I was inspired by Jan, Onslow Montana, and so many others like David Boyd, who had Lina Aschana. All of them, they inspired me to write a piece. And so there's this day I watched the news, and there was a girl who had died out of female genital mutilation. So I was inspired and I wrote a piece of that. And then one day I performed it in an NGO meeting, and fortunately the start of the NGO invited me to perform in Germany.
That's how you went to Germany. Now, you were inspired by the real things that happened to women, right? FGM, that piece was very famous and it was emotional. I watched you perform that piece for several times, and every time I started crying. I was like, oh man, it is emotional, you know what I mean? It got into my bones, really. Now, tell us, when you got to Germany, how did they treat you?
German people are really kind on my kind of view.
Are you sure?
Yes, they are. Yes, they were kind to me. No, there was not any amount of resistance.
No torture. I said they were gonna torture her, man. No. I was about to boycott. I was like, Krisspy, nobody.
Treated me like a queen.
A queen.
Yeah.
A queen, totally. For how many days were you in Germany?
I was there for 12 days.
12 days. And how did, like, okay, artistically, how did they receive you? How did they understand you?
They appreciated a lot of an African touch to their spoken words and poems that I did. They were emotional, a lot of,
they were crying.
So many of them.
They were crying.
Yeah.
Still cannot picture that one.
Because of that piece. And then I realized there's a lot of art in Germany: fashion, rap, spoken word, poetry. Art is everywhere.
So it's really not what the media portrays about them.
Yeah.
About them being Hitlerian killers.
I
you
didn't
know.
encounter.
You didn't encounter that, and you wouldn't say it's really true. Kinda, maybe, in the history.
In everything, we have a bright side and we have a darker side.
Darker side.
There is always the darker side. I had an opportunity to see the darker side, but my experience was really on the brighter side.
On the brighter side.
Yeah.
Tell us what's coming in. Because as Krisspy, we know it's gonna be fire. You know, it was FGM. Now it's like, don't cut the titties. I know that's that's the next thing coming up.
It's not only FGM that I took to Germany. I took a piece on the water problem in Kenya.
Oh.
Because at the end of the day, the girl child suffers because of the water problem in Kenya. They're the ones they have to walk for miles to fetch water. And also I took a piece on hopes and dreams, where we have so many girls dreaming so big, but they don't end up in the right places. Many of them end up in prostitution, in doing useless things that their life is not worth.
It's like women have power.
Women
that's
have
what you believe.
A lot of power.
And that's what you know.
Yeah, educate a woman in the society?
As society, when you educate one man, it's problems, you know. He thinks he got it all in the world. Now, welcome back anyway. Very much welcome back. We really do appreciate for you going out there and representing talent and Black as it is. We appreciated Slow for him, for his work, you know. He was really working when you were gone, you know what I mean? You weren't there to witness it, but we were there to witness. He was leaving and we were crying too behind the scene. Oh. And we were crying behind the scenes like, don't let him go, man, don't let him go. Now, what will you tell the girls who are at home or the girls who are watching YouTube today, those who are watching you this minute? What would you say to them on how to be how to be you, how you got to where you are, how you got so much power and knowledge and strength? If like there's a girl out there who believes that she can change the world with the things that she says, her words can change the world, her rhymes, what advice would you give them?
If you feel your destiny is to change the world, go for it. Don't sit there and wait for some angel to drop out of heaven to come and pick you. You'll never do it.
Never. Wake up.
Wake up.
Move on.
Work hard.
The way you used to go to shows and no one would pay. They would tell you, I remember they would just be like, oh man, you were an upcoming artist, don't worry, you would get fame from it. You realize by the end of the show you are walking and the person who hired you is driving a limo. Like, see you in the next show. That's how normally it goes. Thank you so much for having you. Thank you so much for accepting this interview. It's Mentali News, and I hope the next time I'm gonna interview you, it's gonna be way bigger than this. You know what I mean? As I tell my interviewers and the interviewees that there's gonna be strippers around the next time we do the interview, it's gonna be big. Like you'll be having a plate of chocolates around you, licking lollipops and all that. You know, it's gonna be dream and eating. Thank you so much. Thank you everybody for watching this segment of Mentali News. I hope the next time you watch this, you'll be more happier than the way you are right now. Please don't forget to subscribe. The button down. Is it here? The button down. Subscribe. Yeah, subscribe, like it, and then share it to anybody. Share it to your enemy, especially your enemies. You know, they would be like, I don't want to watch it, but let me see what is it anyway. First of all, let your enemies feel the pain of success. And as I always say, there's always a thin line between you and success. It's fear. Mentali News. Peace out. Thank you.
Yeah, fellow creatures, man, discover the gifts within you and follow your heart to the fullest. Yeah. Utilizia talanta na wala sibadili nia, kile choto unachopenda bidii ndio yone njia. Hadharani ukishindoto no vibe ndo tachukia. Vema nipende nafsi yako kuliko unavipandia. Utilizia talanta na wala sibadili nia, kile choto unachopenda bidii ndio yone njia. Hadharani ukishindoto no vibe ndo tachukia. Vema nipende nafsi yako kuliko unavipandia. Utilizia talanta